It is the biggest event of the year. It is World Cup time, and this is an anime channel. So today we are going to be making the best anime World Cup starting 11 with subs and all that. Now let's get straight into it. Obviously the rules are going to be that this is just an opinion thing and just for fun. Also, I did make a sub for each position, and I made a rule where only one character from each anime is allowed, so no duplicate animes. Let's get to it. I would like to mention no Blue Lock characters as well, or any soccer anime characters. To start off real quick for our managers, I think I'm going to go with L. Loliot as our first, and then our backup would be Lelouch. I think Lelouch is better at leading people, but L is definitely smarter and I think could draw up better tactics. So that's going to be pretty simple for our managers. And for our formation, we're just going to go with a 4-3-3 just because it's very simple. But we're going to start off with goalie here. And our first player up and our starting goalie is going to be Monkey D. Luffy. Now, I know a lot of people may have wanted other characters or maybe thought other characters would be better. But here's the reason why I chose Luffy. This is a guy that can expand himself, stretch, and he is super quick. You know, when I thought about goalies, I know a lot of people would maybe put like an Attack on Titan character in here because they're just huge and can block the whole goal. However, I went with Luffy because he's also very fast, and if you are very fast and you are able to block the whole goal, I think that's way more impressive than somebody that's just very big. So that's why I went with Luffy as the starting goalie. I think it's going to be fair. Plus, he likes to lead, and the goalie has to lead the defense, obviously. So I think having Luffy in the starting goalie position is pretty good. And now for the backup, we have Choji. I forgot how to say his last name, not gonna lie, but Choji from Naruto. This is a guy as well who can get pretty big and is pretty quick. Not as quick as Luffy and probably not as big as Luffy, but this is a guy who can definitely do the same thing, just not at the same level as Luffy. So for the same reasons I said about Luffy is the same reasons I'm gonna have Choji as the backup. And now we move on to the left back, in which we have Enrico Pucci. Now Pucci I have at left back because he is incredibly fast, and you're gonna want that pace on the wing, obviously. Also, you know, he's got the stand or whatever that has the super strong horse legs, so he is going to be pretty strong as well. He's going to be strong and fast, and I think he's somebody that can go up and down the pitch pretty easily. And for his backup, I'm going with Killua Zoldyck. Not as fast as Pucci, but obviously very quick as well. Has a lot of energy. Will probably play the game the right way. But for Killua, I just have him as the backup because he's not as fast as Pucci and doesn't really contribute more than Pucci does. Now we'll move on to our first center back, which we have Sung Jin Woo. Now, Sung Jin Woo, I have him at the center back because, if I'm not mistaken, he is pretty tall, which is going to be very good as well. He's also in good shape. He is incredibly fast, and I feel like he's more known to be a defensive guy. Like, he became strong so he could protect people, if I'm not mistaken. Obviously, he is good at attacking too, so on the corners you could get him in there for the headers and stuff like that, but I have him in the back line because I think he'd be very good at protecting. His sub, though, is going to be Andy from Undead Unluck. This is another guy who does like to protect as well. He's a little bit goofy, which is why he'd come off the bench. I don't know if he would take it so seriously, but he's another big, tall, and strong guy. Now, if you're enjoying this video, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, help me out. You know, I upload anime videos 3 times a week, so there's something here for everybody to enjoy. Also, I have my Discord in the description. Once I have 50 members, I'm going to be doing a video with you guys. I like to talk about anime and stuff in there as well. So if you want to talk about that or talk about the World Cup, then please join. I also stream in the description, but let's continue. At our other center back position, we have Kazuma Kuwabara. Now, this dude is a guy known for protecting those around him. So, obviously, center back is very good because he's going to be protecting the goal. He is another very tall, very strong guy, athletic guy as well at that. And I think he would just be very good in an all-around sense on defense. Like I said, he's known for protecting people, so I think Kuwabara at center back makes perfect sense. The backup for Kuwabara will be Vash the Stampede. He's another guy that is very tall, in very good shape. Not as strong as our other 3 center backs, but he's tall, in good shape, pretty quick as well, can move. But the reason why I have him back here is because he's also known for protecting. He's another guy that is going to lay his life on the line to protect this goal. I do have him as a backup, though, because he's not as strong. So if it comes to like in the air play or bodying off the ball, Vash is not going to really be able to handle that. However, he is very tall and in great shape. So I do think he would be a good option to have as a backup center back. But now we'll move on to our final starting position in the defense, which is going to be Tenya Ida at right back. Ida, of course, is incredibly fast as well, and this is a guy that is going to play the right way. If you need a play to get done on this side, he is going to be capable of moving up the field and getting something done, and he's also going to be able to stay home and play defense. This is another guy who loves to protect, so I think it's pretty obvious why we would have him at right back. His backup will be Zenitsu from Demon Slayer. Now, Zenitsu is incredibly fast and does want to protect people. The reason why he's a backup, though, is mainly because of the mindset. You know, he is kind of like Killua, but the mindset's just not there. I'm not sure if he'd be able to really play the game the right way. He might be scared of contact when the attackers start to push him. So Zenitsu could be a decent backup, but definitely not a starting level running back on this team. Now we'll move on to center mid, and our first center mid on the left side here is going to be Mash Burndead. In a team full of demigods and, you know, humans, and some gods actually just straight up coming later, Mash actually might be in the best shape out of everybody. If there were anybody on this team to last a whole 90 minutes, it could be Mash. Mash is an incredible workhorse, so he's going to be able to play both sides of the ball incredibly. He's big and strong as well, so he's going to be able to take command of that central midfield, right? Like, he is going to be able to have this ball. He's going to be able to pass and give opportunities to others. I think Mash is in a perfect position to start at center mid for our anime starting 11. And then for his backup, we have Koro Sensei. Now, Koro, you know, he has the capabilities. He has like 8 legs. You know, he's very quick. He can pass the ball. He could probably play defense. Now, the reason why he's not starting is another mindset thing. Like, Koro would probably goof off too much and not take it too seriously. He's a good spark plug you could bring in off the bench, but I'm just not really sure if he'd be able to handle things well, considering how goofy he is. You know, I think he would be good off the bench, but I think Mash definitely could play the role a lot better. Now we move on to our next center mid, which is going to be Asta, another absolute workhorse. The only guy that could keep up with Mash pretty easily would be Asta. He's another guy that will play both sides of the ball, and he's a guy that will not stop running. He will run the entire 90 minutes and play as hard as he can during the entire game, which is the reason why I think Asta very clearly and deservedly deserves a spot in that center midfield. Now, unfortunately, he's not really tall enough to really play center back or striker, which is why he's going in the center mid, but he works so incredibly hard that he is going to be the glue guy that keeps this team together. Now, for his backup, it's somebody kind of similar. It's going to be Baki Hanma. Again, another guy in incredible shape that could definitely do well in the center mid, but is a little bit short to play anywhere else. And yeah, he's just, I'm going to be honest, just not as physically gifted as our other 3 starting center mids, which is the only reason he is not starting. I know Baki has a lot of horseshit abilities and stuff like that, but no, Baki is unfortunately going to be on the bench just because he's just not good enough. Then for our final center mid position, we have Yuji Itadori. I mean, this guy has the physical attributes of, like, it's not human, definitely not human. He is so incredibly fast, so incredibly strong, and this is a willing guy to get his teammates involved. This is a guy who's going to want to defend his teammates, going to be verbal, going to be communicative, right? Like, this is another guy who absolutely deserves to be starting in this midfield position because he's going to take it very, very serious, which is what we love. His backup is going to be kind of the opposite. We've got Blackstar. Now, Blackstar is going to try his ass off, but he's going to want to be the center of attention, which is why he's going to play in center mid. He is short, but he's going to go on attack. He's going to go on defense. He's going to want to do it all, and he's going to be capable of doing it all. However, this is another guy mentally wise. Like, is he able to really comprehend how he should be playing? No, he's just going to go for the flashiest stuff. He's going to try to be the star of the game, obviously, and he's going to have the skill to back it up, but it may lead to a lot of mistakes as well, which is why he'll be good off of the bench. Now, at our left wing, we're going to have Sonic from One Punch Man. This is a guy who's going to be very flashy. He's going to be able to dribble in and out of defenders, and he's going to be incredibly fast, the perfect guy you would want on the wing. The only issue you may have with him is he may be a little selfish with the ball, but I honestly don't see it. I think Sonic would eventually be able to just coexist with the team, and I think he'd be very valuable to have at that left wing position. Now for his backup, we have Mugen. I think Mugen is similar, obviously not as fast. He's pretty quick, like his acceleration is good, but I don't think his top speed would be anything crazy. He's another flashy guy that can go in around defenders and stuff like that. And I think he would be pretty willing to give up the ball as long as, you know, he has it at some point. Obviously, you get him the ball, and then he'll give it back to you as long as he feels like, you know, he did enough with it. And so I think Mugen would be a pretty solid backup, just not nearly as fast as Sonic. And in our second to last position, we have right wing, which this is a no-brainer. Shinra was going to be in this team. If you watch Fire Force, you know, not only is this guy a master with his footwork, like he can pretty much do anything with his feet, he is so fast that he can travel through time. I mean, he's one of the fastest people on here. I think the only person faster is probably Pucci. So Shinra was absolutely a no-brainer to have on here. I mean, he's going to be arguably the best player on the team because he is a master with his feet already. I'm sure controlling a ball would not be that much harder for him. He has the most experience, I feel like, when it comes to anything relating to soccer. And again, incredibly fast and a willing teammate for sure. Could even be team captain. His backup isn't as grand, but we have Adam from Pluto. Now, Adam is another guy who is going to help the team and is going to be great. He is relatively fast, not as fast as Shinra, but this is another guy who is pretty fast, who's going to go get you the ball and is going to distribute it back to the team. He can also take the shot when it's necessary too. We've seen that in Pluto, that he is able to take charge when he needs to. He is very level-headed as well. This is another guy that could be potential team captain material. But finally, we're going to move on to striker, and I think these two are going to be pretty obvious. Either of them could start as well, but we have Goku as our first striker. I think Goku obviously would be an incredible striker. Not only is he... Actually, I don't even think Goku's necessarily that tall, but he is incredibly fit. He jumps higher than everybody here, is faster than almost everybody here. I do think Shinra is faster than Goku, if I'm not mistaken, and Pucci as well, but still incredibly talented striker you would want to have here would be Goku, and this is a guy who is always on the attack. Not so much a defense guy, but very, very attack heavy, so he is going to be berating shots on the goalkeeper. Like, this is a no-brainer. Now, his backup, I would personally start over Goku, which is Jin Mori. I think Jin Mori is a lot more level-headed than Goku. I think he's a lot more reliable than someone like Goku. Like, Goku kind of just does whatever he wants. I think Jin Mori could play with the team, so you may be wondering, why'd I start Goku? Hey man, I mean, it's like having Ronaldo on your team, you know what I'm saying, or Messi, you know. Even if there is somebody better, which I'm not saying there is, but even if there is, they still got to start just because of the legacy, you know. Goku got to start because, you know, he's arguably the GOAT, right? But I do think Jin Mori would be better for the team as a starter because he is pretty much everything Goku is, but with a more level head, and honestly might even be better than Goku in his, like, final forms. It would be debatable. I don't know. But you know, he is pretty much just Goku, but definitely more willing to cooperate with the team. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, hype the video, do all that. You know, it helps me out. I got my Discord and Twitch in the description. I hope to see you guys in a future video. This video was a lot of fun to make, so I hope you enjoyed. If you want more World Cup type content, let me know in the comments. I'm a dip. Peace.